Hello everyone, I'm Mo. I'm one of the founders at Mathspace. Mathspace is a digital maths tool. It's a comprehensive digital maths tool that effectively replaces your textbook and replaces any kind of digital platform that you may have used in the past. And today I want to take you through just one particular question on Mathspace, and every question on Mathspace is done in a similar way. And I want to compare that to how it's been done traditionally, whether on a textbook or in another digital platform which focuses on the multiple choice or just the final answer. So the question we'll look at is 9 on 24 plus 3 on 8. And this is the Mathspace interface, but first let me show you traditionally how this particular question might be done on a digital platform. So here we're looking at the same question on a popular digital maths tool. And the way a student, I want you to put yourself in a student's shoes for a second here. And a student might look at this, and there's any number of mistakes that a student might do. They might add the numbers horizontally. But let's say a student kind of has some idea, and they decide, okay, so it's 9 on 24, and then they'll have to work it offline on paper in their heads, however, to also work out that that's also 9 on 24 to get the equivalent fractions. And then they say, okay, so it's 9 plus 9, I can add them, so I'm going to get 18 on 24. Now when they do that, traditionally with digital maths where we're only interested in the final answer, that's not correct because it's not the final answer. And they're told they're wrong, and it's probably the wrong message to be sending somebody who actually is on the right track, just not finished. We actually want to reward this, so in terms of building a growth mindset, or at least we want to give them a chance to continue or try again, even if they did get that wrong. So I'll show you the same question on Mathspace now. Okay, so if I went through the same steps here and on Mathspace, so this is on an iPad, Mathspace encourages the working out to be done online for that instant feedback online. So if I go through the same process and say, well, that's 9 on 24 plus 9 on 24, and Mathspace will digitize my handwriting, and when I check my answer, I'll get that feedback at every step to indicate that, yeah, you're on the right track. And as I continue, so let's say I was to make a mistake at this point, and I added both, say, the denominators as well, so 18 on 48. Then Mathspace will tell me, no, you're wrong, and I have a chance to try again. And this is the growth mindset we're trying to instill. So as I go through now, and if I'm not sure where I went wrong, I can always ask for a hint. And a hint is available at every step. And it's specific to the step that you were on. So when I ask for a hint, it says since the denominators are equal, we can just add the numerators. Oh, yes, I can recall that that's what I meant to do. So scrolling back up, I had 9 plus 9 on 24. So I have my digital workbook in front of me. So therefore I should have 9 and 9 in each of those boxes, and I go through and I continue 18 on 24, and I think I'm done, but Mathspace tells me no, you're not done. So the yellow tick indicates that you're not yet finished. So rather than telling we're wrong, we're actually saying when you're right, you're on the right track, just keep going. And if I'm not sure how to keep going, then again there's a hint available. I ask for that hint. It says simplify the fraction by taking out any common factors in the numerator and denominator. So looking at 18 on 24, perhaps I don't know what the highest common factor is. So I can ask for a second hint, which tells me that the highest common factor is 6. So hopefully at this point I am able to determine that the final answer is 3 on 4. Now if I wasn't, I could ask for a next step, and it would reveal that to me. Just the very next step, one step at a time. So I'll check that answer. Now I'm going to show you what the teacher sees in all of this. And I want you to go back and think about what you normally see as a teacher. So teacher now, once a student has gone through, and every student has gone through these questions, and every student will go through and receive this feedback. So as a teacher, you're not just seeing right or wrong on this one particular question, but you're seeing every step that the student took. You can see the misconception over here, you can see that the student had to ask for a hint, and the hint actually helped them because they knew how to get to the next step. The hint helped them again, but then they required another hint to get from 18 on 24 to 3 on 4, but they managed to do that themselves. Now, if we compare that to the feedback that we have in traditional online learning, right or wrong, single point of feedback, you really don't get a chance to dig into any misconceptions. With Mathspace, we're talking about the same question with maybe 10 points of feedback available to the student in real time. And when you look at that for a class, 30 students, you're going to have some students who know how to do this and they'll get it right in one go. You'll have another student who gets stuck at a particular point, and they will ask for a hint at that point. And you'll have another student who has a hint from right at the beginning. You'll have another student who's fine up to this point and then ask for a hint. 30 students in a classroom, each getting individualized help as though the teacher was sitting right next to them. This is the evolution of online learning, and I invite you all to join me for a webinar to go through this in a lot more detail, go through the teacher section, and then to use Mathspace in your classrooms as a partner school.